What's up, guys? The artist is back, and he's here with a brand new edition and a brand new, well, I wouldn't even say a brand new show, but a brand new edition of the Three-Way Dance Wrestling Podcast. It's back. For how long? Who knows? But it's back. And joining me, as always, is, oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't write down an 80s reference, but fuck it, we'll bring it next week. Yeah, we didn't. Fucking. Well, you know what? And joining me, as always, is he likes to party all the time, Nick.
Party all the time, party all the time.
Yes. And joining me
What's
as
up,
always,
everybody?
Yeah, and joining me as always is Shelby, aka Shubs. Shelby?
I would make the cricket noise, but I can't.
Yeah. We've been talking about bringing this back for like a long time, over a year, but like Shelby was always the holdout because like Shelby's just a good comedic foil. I've said this before. Shelby's just a great comedic foil. Not to say that Nick isn't, but like Shelby just brings, an energy to it. And he, for whatever fuck reason, he's just like, fuck it. No matter how many times I tried to go around it, like, okay, what if we just limit your schedule? No, like no matter what, he said no. So the next idea was we bring in an old friend that we have, Alex, because Alex knows his shit about wrestling, and we kind of have a pass. But I was willing to let bygones be bygones if he were willing to come back and everything. But he's just too busy. So Nick actually came up with the idea of the third member of our podcast. So introducing the third member of the new Three-Way Dance Wrestling Podcast, that is you guys. You guys are the unofficial third member of the Three-Way Dance Wrestling Podcast. It's a little cheesy, but
I mean, a little cheesy doesn't hurt, man.
Exactly. A little cheese. Who doesn't like a little extra cheese on their shit every now and then? But yeah, we figured we would wait till WrestleMania to come back, biggest show of the year, and then go from there and see what happens and everything. So tonight it's going to be just like the show you heard before. We're going to play a different version of the eBay game. We're going to play Three-Word Dance. We're going to review WrestleMania. Probably won't have
something up my ass.
There's something up Nick's ass. We're going to move that till after WrestleMania. We used to do it beforehand, but we're going to move it till after. And we're not probably going to have an after segment right now because WrestleMania is going to take us a while here. But all that stuff can't be done without the great people over at moviesarusa.biz, where you can head on over and use my checkout code ARTIST, ARTIST at checkout, and get yourself 50% on your entire purchase. On top of that, free shipping. Physical media is out there slowing the fucking slow, miserable death that I hate to see it dying. And
streaming is expensive.
Oh yeah.
Damn. If you didn't go to the movies, I was gonna go see The Luckiest Man in America, and I was like $15. No thanks. So I'll have to wait until it's on streaming because I wasn't paying $15 to go to the movie theater.
Man, I wasn't gonna go at 10 o'clock at night to go see it. Yeah, that was me. I was going to go pay the ticket price because I don't buy shit.
Right.
I'm like, oh, I'm okay with the ticket price. But once it was 10 o'clock at night, I was like, fuck, I ain't going.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be on streaming within
exactly,
weeks.
Anyway, And
Movies Are USA.
Or moviesarusa.biz. You can just message them over there and say, hey, I need this on Blu-ray. And they'll put it on there, and you can still use that checkout code ARTIST. Still get 50% off on your shipping. So head on over there because they're a proud sponsor of the Three-Way Dance Wrestling Podcast. All right, so we're back into it, man. We're all right. Damn shame we couldn't get Alex involved because, like, really missed that 3-person dynamic.
Yeah.
Here, but he was just a little too busy for it. What is he even up to these days?
He is working for a baseball team out of Louisville, Kentucky. I don't know. I'm not sure like where in the office he is, but I think he's pretty high up in the office.
Oh wow!
So like he spends a lot of time at their actual ballpark and everything, and he organizes
he used to work for the Indians
things. Yeah, he was working for the now Guardians, and then he was working for. From there, he went to I want to say it was an NHL farm team in New York. He wasn't there very long, and he went to, I think it was either Dallas or Fort Worth for a WNBA team. He was there for a bit, and then the opportunity back in baseball in Kentucky came up, so now he's in Kentucky.
Wow. And Shelby Shelby, believe it or not, watches, I think, more wrestling now that he doesn't do the podcast than he did when he fucking...
I could see it. I mean, anytime, like times like that, him and I have gone to wrestling. We've spent the trip there discussing wrestling. Like, so it's like, I mean, there's a lot like that he's watched, a lot that he had planned to watch. Like he has like the entire Royal Rumble anthology up till
Oh
like
yeah.
I forget when. Like it's quite extensive. Like, and he watches a lot of the wrestling of old school,
Yeah.
as he would put it, like the black and white stuff.
Mm-hmm. He
Like,
likes that armbar type of shit.
oh yeah,
You know.
the going back to like
I
Luthez and that shit.
I would be live some nights on YouTube, and YouTube would be going off in the group chat. I'm like, this motherfucker, referring to Shelby, this motherfucker can talk in the group chat for fucking ages, but he can't hop on a podcast and fucking do this. Like some nights y'all would piss me off because I'm like, here's Shelby able to talk wrestling, but he can't fucking bring it up here and shit.
Yeah.
And once CM Punk came back to WWE, people were just like, well, fucking Shelby has to come back now. And it still wasn't enough.
No.
You know? But all right, so let's get into our festivities here. We got a lot of show to go through here, so let's get into it here. First, we're gonna play the new eBay game here.
Ooh.
Yeah, instead of you competing against Shelby as you used to do here,
It's me versus the computer.
you versus the computer. It's a little bit different.
Something like that.
Yeah, a little same, a little different. We're still gonna learn some weird items from eBay, but you're gonna have to put them in order from cheapest or most expensive to least expensive with
We got
items
some Prices Right style action here.
There we go. Yeah. So
okay,
let me look at my list here because I made a nice little list here today. So your first item, let's go with what do I like here? All right, I'll save that one for last because that's actually the weirdest one. All right, let's go with this one. This is a Bray Wyatt and the Fiend salt and pepper shaker. They're salt and pepper shakers, but they're in the shape. One's Bray Wyatt, one's the Fiend.
Interesting.
Yeah, just a salt and pepper shaker. The next one here, let's go. Okay, let's go with a WWF Milton Bradley Legion of Doom 200-piece puzzle.
Oh.
Yeah, that was part of a line that also included Brutus the Barber Beefcake, I believe Captain Lou Albano, and Hogan and Warrior, of course. And finally, let's go Up, Up, Down, Down, which is Xavier Woods' gaming channel, an Up, Up, Down, Down version of Uno. So which one of these is the most expensive, the middlest, and the least expensive?
Okay, so...
Oh, wait, no, forget that Uno one. I forgot I wanted to do this one because it was the weirdest one. I forgot. Yeah, forget that Uno. We'll save that for another day.
Okay.
The last one is actually a WWE Australia Lumpy the Koala plush bear.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a plush koala wearing a WWE shirt. Apparently, these were on sale in WWE Australia. Maybe Elimination Chamber Perth or Super Showdown. I don't know. And it was apparently a mascot they had there. So, yeah. So, either the Bray Wyatt Salt and Pepper Shakers, the WWE Australia Lumpy, the koala plush, or the LOD puzzle. Which one is the most expensive, the middle, and the least?
Now, with the LOD puzzle, is it complete?
It is complete, yeah.
Okay.
And just so everybody knows at home, all prices are based on what their advertised price is at the moment.
Oh, boy. So for most to least.
Yeah, most to least.
Okay, now. We got a mascot.
Try to stay away from signed items and belts because those are
right. Okay, so you gotta think about how many of these lumpies would have been made versus how many would have sold and how many are sitting in a warehouse somewhere in Connecticut.
Because I don't think this is just something they brought back to America and was just like, it's lumpy, you know.
No, they definitely didn't, or we would have heard about it. Oh boy. Okay.
Like, did they really need people in the door that bad in Australia?
Yeah.
Like, you know, fucking mascot. You know?
I'm gonna say.
Why not Bumpy? Wouldn't that make a little more sense?
Bumpy would make more sense,
Yeah.
and just have him elbow drop in the ground like Ric Flair and shit
Exactly. Yeah. You
at,
bump it.
at the door of the stadium, like, tossing bears to people,
Yeah. There you go.
dropping elbows. Okay, I'm gonna say. You know what? I'm gonna say most expensive is Lumpy. Second most expensive is the puzzle, and the third is salt and pepper shakers. I'm probably wrong, but
And on your very first eBay game of the very first three-way dance wrestling podcast, the new one that is, you hit it right on the head.
oh shit.
The WWE Australian Lumpy the Koala Bear is going for the price of $125.
Whoa.
It's still in the package. I should have mentioned that.
Okay, but I mean,
You still
whoa.
got it. Next up is the WWF Milton Bradley Legion of Doom 200-piece puzzle at $39.20. So that leaves the Bray Wyatt and Fiend Salt and Pepper Shakers just a little bit less at $35.
Wow.
Yeah. Just because it's our debut, just for shiggles, let's do another 3. Let's do another, just because. Oh, you know what? Here's one. I know I said I stay away from signed stuff, but this one I had to do. Wheatley Vodka, you know, WWE's foray in alcohol. When you think Wheatley Vodka, who do you think of?
Cody Rhodes.
Exactly. LA Knight.
Oh.
Wheatley Wheatley Vodka koozie signed by LA Knight. It's one of those fucking canned koozies with the Wheatley Vodka brand, but it's signed by LA Knight.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, have fun with that one.
Yeah.
Or the WWF New York restaurant. You know, we all remember that.
Yep.
The WWF New York restaurant menu holder. This was like, you know how you go to like a nice fancy restaurant, it's like that leather bound.
Yep.
You open. It's just that, no menu inside. I made sure of that. Yeah, it's just the leather bound menu. It says WWF New York on it. Or, you know what, since we mentioned it, the up, up, down, down Uno. Those are your 3. What is the most expensive, the least expensive, and the middle expensive?
Okay. What was the price point? I didn't even look at all the price points for WWE World and who was signing. Nor do I know if LA Knight was there.
I don't even know if it came from WWE World, to be honest.
Well, I mean, I'd have to think. Like, I know that they've done Wheatley Vodka, those like appearance things. Like,
have they? Okay.
Cody's done them. Like, I do know they've done those, but I thought that Cody was the one that did them. I didn't realize anybody else did.
I know, right? That's why I was just like, signed by LA Knight. Wouldn't it be Cody Rhodes?
And especially too, like, because LA Knight's the main spokesperson for Slim Jim now.
Yeah.
So
the Wheatley Vodka signed koozie, the menu holder from WWF New York, and the up, up, down, down Uno.
And the up, up, down, down Uno, that must be like a Comic-Con thing or like a WWE shop thing. Like, it can't be like a common. Well, maybe, I don't know. I'm going to say that the leather menu holder from WWF New York, I'm going to say that's most. The koozie very close behind, and then the up, up, down, down Uno.
All right, you're close this time.
Okay.
You got the menu, which this one shocked me. This the WWF menu holder doesn't even have the fucking menu from the restaurant. It'd be one thing if it was the menu holder and the menu. I still think this is a ridiculous price, but $250
for a piece of leather.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay, it's WWF branded, but still.
Yeah, from the restaurant that failed. You know, the next one, the middle one. Oh no, wait, you did get it right. No, you didn't. No, you said this was the middle. Okay, the middle one was actually the up, up, down, down.
Okay.
At $55 fucking.
Whoa.
Yeah, you better fucking love some Uno.
And up, finally, up, down, down.
Yeah, and finally the Wheatley Vodka koozie signed by LA Knight. Believe it or not, only going for the price of $40.
See, I feel like let's say somebody had that from a Cody appearance and we're at the arena, and for some reason didn't get it signed by Cody. They just happened to get the koozie, and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
LA Knight, sign this!" Like,
Yeah. They just probably ran
but
into LA Knight, needed something to sign. Here,
yeah,
sign.
exactly. Like, they might have pulled it out of somewhere. Unless it's through WWE, you're not paying very much for autographs. I
Oh yeah.
don't think. Like, if you're going through WWE, you're gonna pay top dollar. Like, I mean, I couldn't even believe Joe Hendry's price for WWE World.
Hmm.
Like, he was there, I think, was it Saturday? And I'm pretty sure for just a photo, it was $180. That didn't include a signing. That was just a photo. And it's like, that dude doesn't even work for you, and you're charging
And I
that.
believe that is some bullshit.
Yeah, like,
Wasn't it
he's
like,
making
but
money.
wasn't it like for Jey Uso? Wasn't it like 400 or something?
Oh, yeah. Steve Austin was like 600.
Yeah.
At one point, they were advertising Hulk Hogan for, I think, 9, and they pulled him altogether, which is probably a good thing. But probably a good thing, brother.
All right, so that's essentially how the new eBay game will work.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Like
So next up is a staple of the three-way dance here, and that is the three-word dance. That is where me and Nick will come up with 3 words that relate to a wrestler. And I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't come up with any like initial ones or anything.
I
like
didn't either.
that. Okay, good.
Yeah, I didn't
That was
either.
like more Shelby's thing, and we kind of ran with it. But some of mine are kind of there. So yeah, we get 3 words, and we see if we can make the connection to a wrestler. We can ask for 1 hint. The hint doesn't have to be a word. So I will go first. So your first word of the 3-word dance is going to be 3, as in the number 3.
Okay.
Yellow. Careful.
Taz?
No.
3 yellow and careful.
3, yellow, careful.
Yellow. Careful. Rikishi?
No.
Scotty Too Hotty?
No.
Brian Christopher?
No.
Okay, this is not too cool. 3 yellow. What was the last word again?
3, yellow, and careful.
Careful. Let's go for a hint.
Your hint being, I think this might give it away, but I'm going to go for it. Proceed.
Sorry, what?
Your hint being proceed.
Proceed.
Mm-hmm.
3 yellow.
3, yellow, careful, and your hint being proceed.
Naomi?
Yep, there it is. Yellow for the yellow caution tape. Careful, another word for caution. Careful. 3, her real name is Trinity. Trinity has there was like traces back to the word 3, and proceed with caution. Yeah.
Okay, so my first 3.
This should be good.
Altar, like as in ALTAR.
Okay.
Cross.
Okay.
Collar.
Altar, cross, collar. Edge?
Nope.
Second altar bridge. Altar, cross.
Altar with an A instead of an E.
Okay.
And collar with an A instead of an E, if you can do E. And not like collar like CALLER, like COLLAR.
COLLA. Oh, like a dog collar.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why, but Eric Bischoff?
Nope.
I was thinking him under the, did somebody say 3 minutes? Because he was at an altar wearing the collar. Yeah.
For Billy and Chuck's commitment
That's
ceremony.
right. Yeah, that's what I was going with that. Yeah. Cross.
Jamal and Rosie, rest in peace.
Yeah. Cross color. All right. I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to take a hint on this one.
This might give it away. Punishment.
Oh, is it Damian Priest?
Yep. Altar, cross, and collar, symbols of a priest.
Oh,
and of course,
okay. So kind of on the right
punishment.
track.
Yep.
Okay, I just couldn't get there. Okay, all right. This one, I might as well just say here, Nick. Here's a free one. Emerald, ruby, diamond.
Ivy Nile.
Oh no, I didn't think about that, but no. Emerald, ruby, diamond.
Jade Cargill.
There it is. Yeah, Jade Cargill.
Okay.
All jewels.
Man, we'll get to that later. We'll get to that during night one of WrestleMania as to my thoughts on Jade.
Okay.
Anyway, my next 3 words: wealthy, first, classic.
Wealthy for no, that doesn't make sense. I was about to say Mark Briscoe, but I was like, that doesn't make sense.
No.
Wealthy first. Ted DiBiase?
Nope.
Cameron Grimes?
No.
Orville Brown?
No.
I mean, first, it kind of works.
There's an Easter egg right there for Orville.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, you know, that's old school right there. What are the words again? I forgot. That threw me off.
Wealthy,
first, and classic.
First and classic, yeah.
Oh, no, that doesn't make sense either.
Maybe it does, though.
It is not Chavo Senior.
No.
Yeah, okay.
No. I can see where you were going there, but
yeah, I was thinking Mark Briscoe earlier because first he won the first Continental Classic, but then wealthy didn't make any fucking sense. And I was like,
what was he saying? I'm going to expand my portfolio with the 100K. Did you see that? So they did this $400,000 8-man tag. It was Will Ospreay, Kevin Knight, Mark Briscoe, and Mike Bailey versus Action Andretti, Leo Rush, Ricochet, and Beast Mordos. And Ospreay and them did a promo, and like Briscoe's getting hyped. What are you gonna do with your money? And Bailey's like, I'm gonna get some shoes. And Ospreay's going to Disneyland. I forget what Kevin Knight says, and then Briscoe like just completely deadpan. I'm gonna diversify my portfolio or expand my portfolio. And they're like looking at him like, what?
What portfolio?
Chicken farm.
All right, give me a hint. I got nothing.
Battery.
Damn it. Shawn Michaels?
No, more modern.
I was thinking he got hit in the head with the battery.
Not that type of battery.
Yeah, okay. See, that's the other direction I was going, but I was trying. There's so many names that came to mind.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, when you look at wealthy first and classic, and then battery.
I can't put it together.
Wealthy is a synonym for something.
Yeah, I know it's a synonym for something, but I got nothing. You got me.
Rich Swann.
Rich Swann. Oh, fuck there.
Wealthy is synonym for rich, first class. He's now no longer part of TNA, actually. He's a free agent. But the Cruiserweight Classic, and of course, he was accused. I don't know I can't remember what ended up happening of battery. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, once you said it. All right. Here we go. My last one here. Hazelnut, red, stench.
Okay. Hazelnut red stench.
Yes.
Holy fuck.
This one's good.
I mean, hazelnut, just Nutella, that's the basis. Spread red.
What? Okay.
No, just I'm trying here. Like, what was that third word again?
Stench.
Stench. Oh, fuck. Rikishi.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, Rikishi on the brain tonight, eh?
Well, I mean, all the Anoa'i family shit during WrestleMania and beyond and before, and I just, man. Hazelnut red stench.
You're gonna be so fucking
Big Show.
No.
Who else shit their pants in the red? Hazelnut. Tommy Dreamer?
No.
Hazelnut red stench. Means nothing. Spread chocolate red. Mark Henry.
No.
No. Hint.
Your hint being, I'm afraid this might give it away, but spring break.
Hazelnut red stench. Spring break.
Yep.
Ricochet?
Nope.
Hazelnut red stench. What? Otis?
No.
I got nothing. I can't.
Okay, you're gonna be mad at this one. Red. Currently, this person has red in their hair. Stench. I believe in the past you said this person looks like they smell.
Okay.
Hazelnut. You were, oh god, once you said it, I was like, oh fuck, he's right there. You're like hazelnut, Nutella, jelly Nutella.
Ah, fuck.
Joey Janela.
Yes, I did say he looks like he stinks. And he does, but here's the thing with him too. First, he's known for being with Penelope Ford, which how did that pull that? Now he's with Megan Bain, and I'm like, what?
Megan
How?
Bain, them titties, man.
All of that, man. Like, oh man.
But yeah, I once you said like, okay, hazelnut, Nutella, I was like,
mean,
oh, fuck, he's got it right there, fuck.
I
And then
wasn't
you're like,
even thinking
spread red. I was like, he's thinking too hard, man.
And that's another thing too. Penelope Ford must like goofy looking fuckers because now she's with fucking Kep Sabian and he's pretty goofy looking. So
that motherfucker's still employed.
yeah, dude, he's with
I'll be damned.
Nick Wayne.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. He is. Yeah, I forgot about that. All right. So that was it. That was our little games we like to play. And sometime you'll see in further.
I still got one more.
Oh, that's right. There is one more. My bad. Fuck. Go ahead.
You might get this one. You might not. I don't know. First word. Unit. Major. Love.
5, 2.
Damn. Okay, I figured you would get that. Yeah, Contra Unit, Major League Wrestling. I love you, Solo.
I actually got it with Contra. I was thinking Contra Unit, and I was like, I know he wouldn't do Simon Gotch. And then you said Major, so I was like, it could be, but I was like, I don't think he goes that deep in Contra Unit. So I was like, it has to be Fatu.
I love you, Solo, which I can't wait for Fatu versus Solo, man.
Yeah, that might be pretty good.
Fucking can't wait for that.
All right, now that was our games that we like to play, and sometimes after our reviews or whatever, we like to play other games and everything too, and we'll see those later on in later episodes if we do them. But now it is time to talk about the biggest wrestling event of the year, the 2-night spectacle. Speaking of spectacle, did you ever find the WrestleMania 9 documentary?
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, and we also need to talk about Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Oh, Stand and Deliver. That's right. We're gonna speed round fucking Stand and Deliver. Good thing I forgot about that. So yeah, I checked out Stand and Deliver, and what was the first match on the card? Starks and fucking Ethan Page. Fucking AEW Dark. Yeah, it's so weird seeing these two fucking in WWE. I don't know what it is, but it's just
Shawn
weird.
Spears and Lexis King too. Remember,
Lexis King, that's not fucking jarring. Shawn Spears either, that's not jarring. It is jarring seeing Ethan Page and fucking, especially the way Ethan Page came in and just fucking like world champion, baby. I'm like, damn, they put the rocket on that motherfucker, didn't they? Same with Saints. You know, but what the thumbs up, thumbs down on Saints and Ethan Page?
It was a very basic match, a showcase for Ricky Saints. I give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, the thumbs middle. It was basic, but I didn't hate it. What was next? The ladder match, right?
Yes.
Ladder match. I'm actually surprised with the direction they went on this one. I went into it thinking like, all right, it's Shawn Michaels booking. He usually likes to go the fucking oddball direction. So something tells me Izzy Dame is going to walk away.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was fully expecting.
Yeah, he likes to always go with the least common denominator.
And then I thought maybe Thea Hale would be
set. That's what I was hoping for.
I was too, actually. Admittedly, I was hoping for Thea. Because I like the whole redemption arc they're going with Andre Chase. Like, I like what they're doing with Uriah Connors and what's his name? Cale Dixon. Yeah. I like what they're doing there and like trying to hype Chase up again and like Thea's back and poor Duke got fired.
I know, right? Shit. I like Duke Hudson.
I did too, but apparently Triple H didn't see anything in him.
But overall, fun ladder match. I would have liked, they built that ladder bridge at one point. I would have liked to see Sol Ruka hit the fucking Soul Snatcher on that ladder.
Oh man, that would have been fantastic.
I mean, she hits him off the ladder, which was cool. But I once I saw the ladder bridge, I was like, Soul Snatcher on the ladder. But it didn't happen. But Sol Ruka walked away with it.
Yep. Which I was pleasantly surprised by that.
Yeah, tag team title match. Hank and Tank taking on Fraxium, and they finally end the reign of Fraxium. And I gotta admit, this match is pretty fucking fire.
I will admit that too. It was much more than what I expected. And Hank and Tank, like I try to watch NXT weekly, whether it be live or whether it be like on delay. I try to watch it because lately, especially, they've been doing a lot to get people invested. Like even Dark State, which we'll talk about shortly, like they've done a lot to. There's one gripe I have about Dark State, but everybody prominent seems to be doing something. They've got stories everywhere. It kind of fits in like really well, like nicely. Like there's, I like what they've done. And with Hank and Tank, the whole story I think was fantastic. All these other teams coming in, this is what you need to do. And Pretty Deadly being like, oh, you should dress like us and and like all this shit leading up to it. It was really good. I thumbs up to that one.
Plus, the match was great. I mean, like Homeboy taking that dive through the ropes and landing on the table. Fuck. I don't know which one it was, but like fucking that was insane. And then they ended up winning. Incredible.
I will say, I did almost expect Frazier and Axiom to show up on Raw last night when New Day was out there.
Oh yeah, that would have made sense.
I was expecting Fraxium instead of Otis and Tozawa, but I understand what that was about,
but oh god.
Okay, I get it, but they could have done so much more with Rusev. Yep. Like for example, recruited to Imperium, the Bulgarian comrade, the Russian comrade.
Is Imperium really a thing anymore? I mean, Ludwig's kind of doing his own thing, and Gunther's doing his own thing.
They've been testing as a face, so yeah, it's not really a thing, but I kind of had this idea like Gunther's redemption, rebuilding Imperium with Dragunov and Rusev and Kaiser
and like I know we're kind of veering off the track here, but like I understand that like when he came to WWE, when he was built in WWE, he was Rusev. I get it, but like he left, was Miro, fucking did his own thing. So like, why doesn't he get to be Miro again?
the Redeemer. That's what I was hoping for, especially when the music had changed. I was like, oh, this is more Miro music. Like this isn't. I was so hoping for Rusev Vodria, Rusev
Yeah.
Machka, and that whole thing with the flag and everything. I was like, oh yeah, give that to me.
He
But
just comes out in a pair of fucking shorts that say Rusev,
yeah,
which I guess we're just getting Miro just with the name Rusev, I guess.
yeah,
You know,
which okay,
I
but
guess.
I guess, yeah, no, exactly. But no, Hank and Tank, great. Soul Ruka, great. Like surprised by it, but yeah, no, I really enjoyed that ladder match. And I said about how what had been up my ass was the amount of multi-person matches, but I will say
Mm-hmm.
the multi-person matches across all of the wrestling, so like across Stand and Deliver and both night one and night two, they were the better matches by far.
You know what? Believe it or not, my favorite match of this weekend was a one-on-one match. I think it will shock you when we get to it.
It might, I don't
Yeah.
know, it might
Um,
not.
Next up was the 6-person tag, the Family taking on Dark State, which I don't know, take it or leave it.
I'm taking or leaving on this one. Here's where my biggest issue with this is. It mainly lies within Dark State. I haven't watched a full episode of LFG. All
Yeah, me
right.
neither.
So,
I
but
thought somebody would upload them on YouTube, so I'm like, all right, somebody upload that shit on YouTube, like they do Dark Side of the
yep.
Ring, and they haven't done it with LFG, so I haven't got to check it out. I've only seen
But
clips.
my issue with Dark State is that Cutler James is one of the members
Yep.
who had been on his introduction. His real name is Jonah Niesenbaum. His introduction was through WWE Next Gen on Roku. Same with Layla Diggs, on Evolve. But Cutler James is a competitor on LFG. How is he in NXT already if the point of LFG is to earn an NXT contract? That's my biggest issue with Dark State is that are they saying that Cutler James wins
That could be it.
because he's already on NXT? And if that's the case, what's the point of LFG?
Maybe it's for the fans who are just like, fuck, I just want to see a good reality show.
That could be, yeah, you could be right. Maybe they're not actually paying attention to NXT, which that could be the casual
Yeah, you'd be
WWE
amazed how many
fan.
fucking people are like, what's NXT?
Okay, yeah, I could see that then, and
Yeah,
especially with it being on the CW, I could see that. Now,
yeah, it's fucking CW. Of
I
all
did
the networks that
see,
show could have landed on, I can't believe it
yeah,
landed on the CW.
still getting better ratings than Dynamite. Oof.
Mm. Um, what was
I
after
didn't
that?
see
The women,
Stacks turning.
it was kind of written that
It
it was
was,
kind of
but
like
it wasn't.
laid out. It was kind of like, okay, I kind of see Stacks walking away here, and people were
Right.
just, I kind of read that, and I was like, it kind of does make sense. And then it happened, and I was like, right on. All right. Next up was the women's fatal 4-way, which I missed something. I mean, I check out the clips to NXT all the
Right.
time, but like I missed Jordan Grace and Jada Parker being added to this match.
So here's what
I went into
let
it
me see
like,
if
all
I
right,
can.
Julia and Stephanie Vaquer, yes, and then all of a sudden Grace and Parker are here. I'm like, I mean, I'm
Okay.
not mad at it,
So
but I was
here's
still
what
like,
happened with that. Stephanie Vaquer had to vacate the
yeah,
North
that I knew.
American.
Yeah.
In that segment, Jordan Grace and Jada Parker showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Jada Parker and Jordan Grace were set to have a main event or a match later on in that NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie Vaquer said she would decide who her opponent is based on the winner of that match. Julia interfered in that match. Vaquer went to Ava and said, "I want all three of them."
Oh, okay.
That's how it went.
Okay, now it makes sense. All right. But I think overall it was fun. You know
Yep.
what? I may be in the minority here. I know I say that a lot lately, but I don't really I don't see it in Julia.
I don't either.
Yeah,
I
I mean she's
honestly don't.
fine. I
And
mean, don't get me wrong, she's fine. I'm not saying she's the shits or anything like that. She's
right,
fine. It's just that like if I were booking NXT, I would have swapped those roles from the beginning. I would have threw probably the North
Vaquer, yeah,
American on Julia and let Stephanie run
yes.
with the world.
And the reason why Julia lost the dual title match is because she wasn't as over
Yeah,
as Vaquer,
I
and
read
they
that.
didn't bank on that. It's kind of similar to Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
They didn't want Jacob to outshine Solo, even though Tama Tonga already had by the time Jacob debuted. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
that.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like Solo, it's actually kind of sad to see how far Solo has dropped,
Mm-hmm.
considering how hard they pushed that. And I thought for sure he was beating Reigns on the first Raw on Netflix. I thought for sure they were going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, nope, that's not what they did. Like, but I just, I, with the one thing with Stephanie back here as well that I'll say, which I don't say is a bad thing by any means, does she show more ass each match? Like, because I swear, like, she wasn't showing that much cheek like at the start.
And then by the end,
By the end, it's like last night on Raw, it was like, damn,
I know, man,
like,
that girl. Oh man, her
oh,
ring gear is just. I want to use that to steep my tea. You know what I mean?
mm, like,
um,
oh, Booker
and
T, like every time too. It's like, holy
fucking
fuck,
Booker
dude,
T.
take a
Booker
shower.
T is like fucking more over than Vaquer, I think, because of that. She does that fucking move, and people are like
Did
Booker.
you
They
see?
don't chant Stephanie. No,
Did
they
you
chant Booker T when she does that move.
did you see the tweet from Charlotte and like the back and forth?
Yes. Well,
Oh yeah.
I saw the one where it was just Stephanie like, well, there is one little difference, and it's
Peach
like just a
emoji.
peach. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny, but I didn't see
Yeah.
anything after that.
Well, that was what I was talking about. Was the
Oh,
peach?
okay. I thought you
Yeah.
said back and forth. Okay. And then the main event, which was Obafemi, Javon Evans, Trick Williams for the NXT title. I love Obafemi. This guy's great. Javon Evans is great. Trick Williams is great. These three black guys in
Yep.
the main event, like
And three homegrown talents too. Three guys they started from basically scratch.
And the funny thing about Javon Evans here, I wanted to point this out. My buddy Justice, as you guys know, he runs wrestling shows and shit every now and then. He actually booked them before he made it to NXT and everything.
Nice.
So he was fucking prouder than a motherfucker when
Oh, I'm
he
sure.
saw them. Oh yeah, definitely. And so he was happier than shit when he got signed. But overall, great match.
Yeah.
It was kind of one of those foregone conclusions, though. It was just like, we kind of know Obafemi's walking away with this. It'd be nice if fucking
They
Javon
had
Evans
me
won.
believing that Javon was going to win. I will
Yeah, it'd
say
be
that.
nice
They
if
had me
Javon won, but
believing.
like it's gonna be a little while for Oba.
Now, one thing I will say, I guess Trick is being considered for a call up, and I think that's the wrong move right
Oh,
now.
definitely. Because now you gotta
Not
understand,
on
yes, there's
screen, but he doesn't. Unless they put him with Paul Heyman, I fear that he's gonna fall down the card very, very quickly if they call him up.
well then like now you gotta look at NXT started as a developmental brand. Now
Yeah.
it's not really development. Yeah, you can develop shit there, but like
Mhm.
now it's more of a third brand. So like now when people are there,
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, I'm here to sharpen up my skills. I'm here to do
Right.
that. I'm here. They're fucking there. So like I think let them fucking run the gambit a little bit longer.
I absolutely agree. Keep him there a little bit longer, like they're doing with Roxanne Perez. Keep Trick there a little bit longer just to fine tune a few things. You don't want a situation, and maybe this is a hot take. I feel as though Lyra Valkyria was called up too early.
Yes and no.
There are many aspects to her that, whether it be too safe in the ring, seemingly nervous. We'll get to more of it later.
I was
There's
about to say,
just
with her, I think the booking with her is. I don't think it's her as an athlete. I think it's the booking.
the booking isn't good either. I will say
I
that,
will
but
say her matches with Dakota Kai, Ivy Nile, those have been good. But I think like this whole WrestleMania shit, we'll get there. This whole WrestleMania booking was just like bizarre.
Yeah.
You know? All right. So that overall, what do you give take and deliver? Stand and deliver.
Stand and deliver, I would give a solid B+ to A-. A very solid show.
Oh yeah. I think you could have threw that fucking 6-man on fucking CW one night and called it a day. You could have probably threw something else in there.
Maybe even Saints and Page.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But still a solid show.
Yep.
I enjoyed it. All right, now we're on to the 2-night spectacle that is WrestleMania. Here we go. First thing I want to fucking mention, like, I understand that WWE is heavy into sponsoring, and I have another sponsor note coming up in our first match. But do the goddamn entrances to the arena have to be sponsored?
I'll get into a spot about sponsorship here very, very shortly that I am very, very upset about.
I get like, okay, people, we got to see them coming to the arena now. Okay, I get that there's advertisements on the mat, which I'm going to say something in a second, but like, really, the Xfinity entrance, I'm like, fucking why?
Yeah. That's corporate greed, though. That's on the part of Ari Emanuel. That's corporate greed. If we look back to even the early days of UFC, that's just corporate greed.
Yeah, because that just fucking... I just saw that, and I'm
distracting.
Just like... It's a small... Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like... It didn't take away from my enjoyment of the show, but it was just like, really?
Yep.
But speaking of enjoyment of the show, first match of the evening. Fucking, they kicked it off, man. They said Gunther, Jey Uso kicking off the fucking night. And the first question I have is, fucking, what was the point of the DJ? He showed up, and
I was like, what is this?
He showed up, they're like, it's a world-renowned DJ, and he didn't do anything, and then they cut away.
Well, when one of the first things I said, because like I was sitting watching, I'm like, who the fuck is that, and why are they here? And then I thought, okay, maybe is it introducing some like rapper or something to sing "America the Beautiful," which turns out I missed, which is perfectly fine with me.
Jelly Roll, but
again,
at least Jelly Roll.
Here's the thing with Jelly Roll. How the fuck can he still call himself Jelly Roll if he's dropped over 200 pounds?
He's still a big boy, though.
He's still a big boy, but come on, dude. It's not like you're more like, oh, well, okay. You're a bit husky.
But like, they just showed the DJ, and he's like, yeah, and then they cut away. I'm like, all right. And then we get Jey Uso having an Undertaker entrance here, which, listen, it's real cute on Raw. When it's in a small arena, but when you have WrestleMania, like, come on, fucker.
That was, like, come on. Like, let's get this over with.
Exactly. I'm like, come on, dude, let's roll. Then we got, and I was like, please.
I love the Spanish announce team when the one guy smacked the headset off the other guy's head.
Oh, I didn't see that. I just wrote, please.
They were yeeting or something.
Stop. I wrote, please stop yeeting Spanish announce team.
But yeah, the Spanish announce team, the one... Was it Marcelo Rodriguez?
Yeah, I think that's who it was, yeah.
Whoever it was. The one moves, like he's going to yeet, and he smacks the headset almost completely off the other guy's face.
Oh, shit, I didn't see that.
I laughed so hard at that. Oh, it was great. But that entrance, I was like, of all the things you could do, you make the man enter from the very top of the fucking stadium. It takes him 10 minutes to get down there. Like, Yeah. All these jackasses, like, with the flags, like, I'm like, did you really have to instruct people to yeet?
I want to let the listeners know that, like, a new experience for me in the last 2 years that we've done an episode of this was, I tend to watch wrestling high now, and which is good and bad. Bad because sometimes I'll sit and watch a match, and I'll know it's a good match, but I'll forget all of it. And I'm like last year, a perfect example was Gunther and Sami Zayn. I was like, I know from up and down that was a great match, but I was like, I don't remember a goddamn thing of it. I had to wait till I was sober to go back and watch it again. And I'm bringing that up because I'm telling you, I write notes when I review shit like this, and this was the first time I've had to write notes in like 2 years. So like some of these notes, I don't even know what the fuck it said. This is the opener though. I don't even know why I wrote that. It probably was in response to something like Nicole said. But no, here's what else was sad. This is what killed me. In 259 days that Gunther was world champion, this was only his 6th defense. It seemed a little low to me.
Yeah, for that long, I would say it's a little bit low. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
he's defended against what? Jey Uso
Jey Uso 3
twice.
times.
3 times.
Yeah,
No. Up to the
Backlash,
world
Saturday
title.
Night's Main Event, and here.
No, Backlash was Uso and Priest.
Was it?
It was Jay challenging Priest for the belt. It wasn't Gunther. Gunther was in. No.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're sure right.
Gunther defended versus Randy.
Yep, that's what it was.
Defended versus Jay. He defended versus. Oh fuck! I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Wasn't that memorable of a ride this time? It wasn't like the Intercontinental title where like we had a memorable little ride this time.
Yeah.
You know. Now right before the bell ring, this one I strictly fucking remember writing. Right before the bell ring, Gunther had this fucking look on his face to Jey Uso. I'm sober tonight, just so we know. Jey Uso, that like it looked like somebody shit in Gunther's pants, and I don't mean that like Gunther shit his pants. It looked like Gunther found his pants and somebody else shit in them, and that's the look he had.
Yeah,
you know, that's the best way I could describe it. Oh, and here it is. Too many ads on the mat.
Yes.
Like, come on, man. There was like, if I'm not mistaken,
that middle one was a giant one.
Yeah, for that fucking video game.
And then Clash of Clans on top of that, which, I will get to that.
Clash of Clans, and we had fucking Book of Vacation, the Riyadh, and we had Cricket. I think a Slim Jim one was on there, I'm sure.
Yep. There was General Insurance.
You know the funny thing? No Prime. Oh, they were on the turnbuckles.
Prime was on the turnbuckle along with Circle K, and I forget what the other one was. The General was on the mat itself.
It was on the turnbuckle too. It was on the bottom turnbuckle.
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, you're right.
Fuck chops from Gunther, man. Like, if I were wrestling, they're just like, oh, you're going to take a chop from Gunther. I'm like, no, thanks. Maybe there's something else we can do.
One thing I have marked out, like noted, and I remember it specifically too. Jay learned how to throw a punch. One of the first things Jey Uso did, and it was a straight up punch. It wasn't like The Rock, like slap punch. It was a straight up like.
Oh, and that deep punch he does and everything. But the first half of this match was very fucking color by numbers, as I call it. You know, it was just like super kick out, Gunther, powerbomb, kick. It was very like, all right, fucking Saturday Night's Main Event. We saw it, but then we got a good splash, and I loved. This is where like it took a turn for me. Gunther had the belt like he's gonna leave, and the referee came over like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he pushes the referee out of the way, and as he does that, he nails Jay with it. I thought that was a brilliant use of that. You know, oh, here we go. You know, green shirt guy.
Yep.
Have I ever told you my theory on him?
I think you have, but I can't remember.
I think green shirt guy works for WWE.
My theory is that he knows somebody that works for WWE.
Well,
and so he gets comp tickets.
Well, obviously, because like he always gets the same fucking seat.
Like he's an employee, like he's a spouse of an employee or like a brother or sister or something.
Well, I think he works for him because he always has the same seat. Plus, I've seen like social media videos from his angle.
He entered with Wade Barrett.
Did he really?
Yes. There is social media video at WrestleMania. I think it was Saturday. He was walking to the ring behind Wade Barrett during Wade Barrett's entrance.
Oh, well, then
he's walking to his seat.
Yeah, that should give it away right there. But then also, there's always like that fucking. I think like on certain shows, maybe not WrestleMania, but like certain shows where green shirt guys there. I think the front row. I think the whole front row is a fucking employee.
I could see that.
You know,
or connected in some way.
Exactly. You know, but like. And plus, the biggest giveaway, I think what was it? What event was it where like Michael Cole the day before was like, tomorrow I want everybody to wear white shirts, all this shit. Green shirt guy shows up with a white smiley face. Shirt. Where the fuck did he get that so fast?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so that's why I'm just like, I think this motherfucker works right now. I always see these articles online. They're like, who's this mysterious fan? And like, we don't have any
everybody. All these super fans, they're like, I did meet and greets, and they do a meet and greet with green shirt guy. So here's like Jacob Fatu and LA Knight and Johnny Gargano and let's say Caden Carter and Tama Tonga and green shirt guy. And it's like, But why is he mingling amongst?
Exactly, because he
Yeah.
works there.
Well, maybe we should like get in touch with Teddy and be like, Teddy,
I know. I
when
just
you
saw that
worked
he
for
posted that shit.
WWE.
I should message him that. I'm gonna message
Yeah,
him that.
did you was green shirt guy an employee?
Yeah, I'm gonna message him that. Fucking. Jey Uso hits a great power bomb on fucking Gunther, and then the nice triple splash I thought was pretty good. And then Michael Cole or Pat, one of the two, or Wade, one of the three, were just like, this would be a huge upset. I'm like, well, I mean, it would be the first time he beats Gunther,
Yes.
but would it really be an upset?
Nobody was expecting Gunther to like win. Everybody was expecting.
Shocked. I was more shocked that they went with a submission win.
I hated the finish.
Really?
The finish killed it for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I was just shocked that they went for it. If they would have hit triple splash, cover, and then fucking yeet, okay, boom, he got it. Like, the fact that it was triple splash, picks him up, sleeper, and then Gunther tapped on top of it, not pass out, tapped. I was like, really, what an interesting choice to go. Like, I get it because of the whole Jimmy Uso thing.
Right.
But it's still just an interesting, I would have thought maybe they would have went like Jay does the sleeper as kind of like a fuck you, but he gets out of it.
That's my biggest issue is that Gunther tapped.
Would you have liked it better if he just passed out?
I would have preferred he was pinned.
Okay.
After 3 or 4 splashes and a couple super kicks. That would so he gets the spear first, a couple super kicks, and 3 or 4 splashes. That's what I would have preferred. Not Gunther tapping out to his own submission hold.
That's fair.
That killed it for me.
I wouldn't say it killed it for me, but it was just an odd choice.
Like, I rated this 3 stars. It would have been higher if not for that finish.
I gave it 3 3/4, but after the moment and everything like that, Jay finally winning, I went ahead and gave it 4. But here's something I didn't notice. When Jey Uso came down to the ring, they showed the Slim Jim winners. Like, here's our contest winner, Slim Jim. We're like, oh, fucking good job. When Jey Uso leaves, those Slim Jim winners are gone.
Yep.
So, like, what? Would they only win? Like, front row tickets for 5 minutes?
Maybe they went for beer or something else. Like popcorn.
Maybe.
I have
during a World Heavyweight Championship match?
It's not the first time. I have.
Yeah, you did walk out there in DIY and fucking FDR.
That was Shelby.
Or Shelby, my bad.
I have
also,
right
I think
George Kittle's getting loaded.
Oh, that's what I was just about to say.
Right
also, I don't think
he's getting fucking wasted.
I don't think anybody from WWE will ever hear this, but if they do, I think we all need to sit Michael Cole down and ask him if he has a drinking problem. Because
I think we need to sit Steve Austin down and ask if he still has a drinking problem.
When they showed George Kittle with that beer and he was drinking it, Michael Cole's response was like, that beer looks so good. I'm like, whoa, can you maybe fucking dial it back a little bit? Like, fucking, that's all I'm like, is he an alcoholic or something?
Well, he was drunk on Jack Daniels during the Pat McAfee show.
Oh, so he is a fucking alcoholic. I forgot about that.
Pat McAfee show, he was all drunk on Jack Daniels. And then they talked about how, I don't know if it was in Bologna or one of those European countries when they did that whole tour. He talked about being at the bars for the whole day with Barrett and McAfee getting drunk and then going to the show.
Makes sense. Yeah, he's an alcoholic. Because he was downing that beer and you just hear Michael Cole, oh my God, that beer looks so good. I'm like,
Kittle just slamming that beer. And the extended part to my note is he can afford it at least. Because those beers were probably going for $30 like a glass or a cup.
Oh, he's George Kittle. He probably got him for free.
Hey, I'm George Kittle.
I just couldn't get over how Michael Cole delivered that.
Yeah.
All right.
So good.
Next up, we have the New Day taking on the War Raiders. Now, I didn't get a chance to go back and watch this, so maybe you can help me. When New Day came out, were there fucking crickets?
Yes.
Okay, so it was both of them. Okay, because I wrote down fucking crickets for War Raiders.
I liked New Day's gear because it was like Giant Gonzalez inspired, so that troll aspect, I liked it. Here's where everything went to shit. what in the fuck was with the goofy Clash of Clans gear that Eric and Ivar were wearing? They have gone since November of last year, rehabilitating the Viking Raiders to the War Raiders to make us take them seriously again, and they come out wearing that bullshit? We could have got TLC with the Street Profits, the Motor City Machine Guns, and DIY, but because they had a sponsorship with Clash of Clans, they had to put the War Raiders on.
Yeah,
Like
I have this
cartoon Vikings, Asterix and Obelix, instead of legitimate fucking. I was furious with that.
I have this mental picture of Ivar backstage, like, oh man, this is my WrestleMania gear. It's gonna be sick. And then somebody comes to him like, hey, we have this Clash of Clans thing.
He's like, are you fucking kidding me?
He's like, come on, you know.
I have to lose, and now I have to wear this shit?
Yeah, exactly. But it was a nice suplex and splash combo there. Nice senton by Kofi. And I just wrote down at one point, Ivar is just so good. You know, like, I think he's really underrated. I could really see a singles push for this guy.
I do too, but when you make them look that fucking goofy, I couldn't even take them seriously last night on Raw when they were trying to be serious, because they were
on Raw
in that gear. Yeah.
Oh, it must have been during my commercial break.
It could have been, because they did a thing with, who was out there? It might have been Theory and Waller were out there.
Oh,
yes, it would have been your commercial break. Yes, it would have been your commercial break. Theory and Waller came out basically to heel on the crowd, and then War Raiders came out and talked about how they were going to take the titles back from New Day, and I'm like, I don't give a shit about you guys anymore. Like,
Xavier Woods brought back the honor roll. I think it's been a while since he did that. I like that.
Yeah.
Then I wrote it down again, because by this point I'm pretty buzzed. I wrote down again, Ivar is so fucking good. And then I wrote down good match. It was just the wrong winner. I don't think the New Day needed the titles.
What I have written down is they did all that work to make people care about the War Raiders. Now I really don't give a shit about this match. That's how they win. Right call, but fuck this match. 2 stars.
3.25 for me. Like I said, it was okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't know if you saw this, but the Snickers Yeet ad or Oos ad. Did you see that? Where he's like
getting something to eat.
Oh, you were? Okay. And then afterwards, you know, they show the fucking like, hey, the celebrities are here tonight. And they're like, look, Jelly Roll's here. We're like, bitch, he sung the national anthem.
Well, yeah, they said Jelly Roll's here. He's down 200 pounds. I'm like, how? What?
But like, it's just like, we know he's here. He just sang.
Like, and if he's trying to slim down, can he still be known as Jelly Roll?
I mean, well, you are going to have a lot of extra skin.
Okay, but still.
Next up here is Jade Cargill, which I think this is the drugs talking, but I have something to talk about with her. Versus Naomi. Let's talk about Naomi's promo.
Naomi's looking like Orlando Jordan in TNA.
And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
Sure.
But Naomi's promo is coming into WrestleMania. Just fucking, I don't know who.
That's why I wish she would have won.
Just some Naomi aside and just get your shit the fucking together. And she did. Because, like, the shit that she's been doing lately has just been outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, her entrance was just fucking, it was simple, but, like, the music and the caution tape and everything, it fucking worked for me. I loved it. And then, oh my God, did somebody say, like, okay, guys, we're gonna rib Jade Cargill? You guys ready? Because they went and hired this fucking news reporter to do dumbest fucking intro I have ever seen for WrestleMania. Oh my God, it's a storm warning! Oh my God, it's a storm! It was the dumbest. I was like, this has to be a rib on her, right?
The redeeming quality for this match for me is that Jade had a nip slip at least once.
But okay. Fuck the match right now. I'm going to bring it up right now, all right? Was it her nipple, though?
Good question. It was kind of oddly placed, wasn't it?
Yeah, because doesn't it look like she was wearing a bodysuit?
It looked almost too pink. I mean,
like, because look at her. Go back and look at that match again. Look at the back.
Yep.
The back has like this line. Plus,
There was this weird little line down the middle. Yeah, I do.
And look at the neck.
Talking there. Yep.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the. Okay, good. I thought it was just a high thing.
I know what you're talking there, but I'm just saying that the alleged nip slip is what made this something for me. Otherwise, it was just sloppy.
Really?
It was not good.
Really? I thought Jade was
gave
fucking...
this 2 stars at best.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go through my notes here. Hold on.
Bianca should have been the referee in this match, and the women's world title should have been Rhea defending versus Io.
Okay, I see. Here's one of those notes that I don't know why I wrote this down. I wrote down. I guess you said, "Fuck it, I'm wearing this." I don't know why I wrote that down. Oh, this is one thing Jade did that I didn't like. Jade like swung for a punch at one point, and she was like fucking 19 feet away from like Naomi. That was like the only thing I saw that I was just like, really? Like, could you have gotten any further away from her? But nice blockbuster on the floor. Great tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Jade. Great catch in the suplex. Like, Naomi went for that dive and she caught her in the suplex. Yep. That was incredible. That's when I wrote down Jade full bodysuit. You know, and I was like, skin tone tights is what I was writing down. Because, like, go look at the neckline, too. There's like a weird line at the neck. And I was just like, and also, I think Tiffany was wearing something later too, but whatever. That power bomb she hit, where she had her in the electric chair, then hit a power bomb. My God,
yeah,
flawless. I think it was a flawless performance by Jade. Probably the best performance she's had. And go look at her fucking performance in, what was it, Clash at the Castle or Bash in Berlin, one of those, wherever she beefed that fucking springboard. And look at, I think I give it 4.5 stars.
Not that
I really enjoyed this.
Bad. I just could not get into this whatsoever. I'm sorry, I just couldn't. I don't know why.
I'm fucking amazed. Okay. Well, I really enjoyed it. Okay. And then after we find out SummerSlam, the first ever 2-night SummerSlam. Fuck it, we're all gonna make them 2 nights now. Let's make all the events 2 nights. Fuck it. No. Backlash 2 nights. Money in the Bank 2 nights. Royal Rumble 2. I think Royal Rumble is the only one that should really be 2 nights, in my opinion.
Not in Saudi Arabia, though. Well, they shouldn't do it in Saudi Arabia, period, but you're really going to take 30 or more of your women over there and let them be degraded by those fucking bad ideology? Like, no, I wouldn't do it. But
maybe they pull a WrestleMania 2. They have the men's Rumble over and like fucking.
I would honestly prefer that. Have the men's Rumble in fucking Riyadh and do the fucking.
And then, like, I don't know, get like Chicago or something and have like the women's Rumble.
Or even do like go to Paris or London or fucking like Nicaragua or something. I don't know.
Royal Rumble, Nicaragua. But anyway, SummerSlam 2 nights. Cardi B, finally, who's been she's had a couple run-ins with some WWE superstars over the past. She's finally going to be hosting the show. You think she's going to be wrestling?
I hope not.
I think she is.
What? And she's going to smother somebody with her ass? Like,
she can smother me with her fucking titties.
I would rather not, to be honest. Nah.
That's the only thing I like about her is her titties. I could care less about anything else she does. Her songs, or whatever.
I just care less about anything about the woman.
Fair enough. All right, coming on next, it's the United States Championship. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu.
I love you, Solo.
Fucking LA Knight comes in a fucking Maserati. Oh my God, it was so good. Why couldn't he drive it?
Yeah, exactly. Why wasn't he? And the idea on commentaries was because he took such a beating on SmackDown was that he needed a little extra assistance. He had to walk down that whole ramp.
Yeah.
Why couldn't he have driven that?
He couldn't have drove the fucking 30 feet up that ramp to the top and just walk around. Like,
the amount of money they must have spent just to rent that Maserati, like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Not much wonder the cheap seats at one point were going for $700.
That's another one I wish I could be backstage for. They're like, LA Knight, this is your Maserati for WrestleMania. He's like, yeah. And they're like, but you're not driving. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
Beautiful Samoan drop and great power slam from Fatu. Nice crucifix from Knight. I thought that was really good. And then the suplex spot. Now, what I wrote down here, we always go back and look at the Evan Bourne, Randy Orton RKO, maybe the Chad Gable RKO, or the fucking Seth Rollins
Mm-hmm.
RKO.
Yep.
I think Jacob Fatu going for that moonsault and LA Knight getting up and hitting him with the
BFT was
TFT
great.
is the new fucking standard for that.
I was really impressed by that. That
And
was
just
cool.
overall, this match was fucking insane. This was my favorite match of the weekend.
I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, I thought it was great. That fucking BFT spot was just, it was so crisp. It was so flawless. Like I said, that's the new standard. Like, fuck going back, looking at Evan Bourne and Randy Orton. Don't get me wrong, cool spot, but like, this should be the new standard from now on.
To me, this was an extended squash that could have been shortened a lot.
Yeah, I can see your point there, because I mean,
say 2.5 stars on this because it just, LA Knight got his offense, but especially when Solo wasn't at ringside, I was like, okay, Jacob is winning this, no question.
Oh yeah, it was a foregone conclusion that Jacob was winning, because he's just so fucking over right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that fucking spot, I saw that, and I mean, it could have been because I was high as a kite, but still, it was still incredible.
Yeah, I totally get where you're at with it too. Like, I absolutely do.
Oh yeah, because like I said, we look at Randy Orton and Evan Bourne, like, that's incredible, or the Chad Gable one that recently did, and but like, I think that now that should be the one we should be replaying for now on.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. All right, next up here, El Grande Americano. Yes. Taking on Ray Phoenix.
I loved everything about El Grande Americano's video package. That was fantastic.
My only note that I had for that was races? Question mark.
What I also want to say is they could easily get away with putting Brutus Creed under the El Grande Americano mask and do El Grande Americano versus Chad Gable, because Brutus Creed isn't much taller than Chad Gable. And if they really wanted to stretch this out, they could easily put him under the mask and do Chad Gable versus El Grande Americano.
I mean, before we talk about the match, I mean, I seriously thought this is where it was going. I thought we were going to have another Ezekiel Elijah type of moment. I thought it was going to be like Chad Gable shows up and we're all like, huh?
Yeah, and here's El Grande Americano. Yeah.
But okay. But fucking, speaking of El Grande Americano, Jesus Christ, we thought Jey Uso's entrance was long. Jesus, it could have been because I was high. I don't know. But like, that fucking entrance felt like eternity.
I did love the mariachi band playing Star Spangled Banner, though. That was fucking awesome.
Oh, it's just like, oh my God, this entrance needs to fucking end already. Then for some reason I wrote down Carmelo Hayes, Andre. What? Oh, okay. I don't know why I wrote down Carmelo Hayes, Andre. All right, whatever. Oh, here's the best thing that I wrote down. They show Vikingo, El Hero Vikingo. Because WWE, we forgot to mention that earlier, WWE has bought the promotion AAA. So my one liner.
They're looking to rename it NXT Mexico.
Are they really?
Yes.
That'd be cool. But here's my one-liner that I wrote. What is the over or under on Vikingo matches till he's injured?
My thing was, how fucking upset is Tony Khan right now that he can't randomly book Vikingo versus Kenny Omega?
He'll live.
Oh, well, yeah, he's got Hechishero now, so he'll live.
Yeah.
Barely.
But I was just like, oh, Vikingo. Oh, shit. How many matches for he's fucking injured?
I know you fucking hate him, but I'm very interested to see what happens with Alberto now that WWE owns AAA.
Oh, they're gonna boot his ass.
Like, are they gonna boot his ass as soon as the 6-month suspension for throwing chairs at fans is up? Or
I'm sure.
Because JBL is now the on-screen GM for AAA, apparently. And he supports Del Rio, and Jeremy Borash is now the creative representative from WWE for AAA.
That's odd.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And by the way, Ray Phoenix replacing Rey Mysterio, who was injured the night before. Nice dive by Ray Phoenix, and the slingshot Northern Light suplex I thought was sweet.
Yeah.
And why did I wrote down, what the fuck, Grande? Why did I write that down? No.
I will say, despite the fact that Phoenix lost, which I'm like kind of
Yeah, but did you
kind of
notice that
early.
he sold the wrong ankle?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right.
I will say though, like Ricky Saints and like Ethan Page and like Penta, Ray Phoenix has already been presented like a fucking star.
Yeah.
The same as those other three, and somehow during their entire AEW tenure, no matter what titles they held, they were not looked at that same way. Like in weeks,
I
they
would
made
say
those four look fantastic.
I would say Phoenix and Ray looked good in AEW a little bit. Maybe not
Phoenix and
top
Penta,
fucking
yeah.
stars. Maybe not top like Kenny Omega
But
and shit like that. But I will say Saints and
at
Page
one time, Penta and Phoenix were great in AEW, but not towards the end. And
yeah,
Saints and Page,
yeah.
like, holy
Those
fuck.
Saints, it looked like he was climbing up there and then it just kind of
Yeah.
disappeared. Ethan Page, he came in. And, did he win the TNT title? I want to say he won
No,
that. He didn't? Okay.
he didn't. Scorpio Sky did when they were Men of the Year,
That's right.
but not Ethan Page.
All right, I wrote down sold the wrong ankle. Again, I don't know. I just think Ray Phoenix should have went over, and not just because he's new or anything like that. I just think there should have been some other kind of fucking tomfoolery where Phoenix got the win. I don't know. I gave it 3.5. I thought it was okay.
I only gave it 2.5. It was mainly because it was just kind of like there. I kind of figured El Grande Americano was going to go over.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, when Phoenix was announced as a replacement, I was like, okay, are they going to use somebody from AAA like Vikingo to help Phoenix to then unmask El Grande as Chad Gable? But then I thought, no, that's too soon.
Well,
So
I mean, it has been getting some. That character has been getting some backlash online, so I can
yes,
see
the Gulf of America, Gulf of Mexico thing.
Yeah, I
That's
can see
why
them
I
trying
thought
to
they were going
discard
to
it
kill it.
quickly. Then
That's why I thought they might kill it, but then they didn't. So,
so then here's another crazy thing that fucking happened. So after the match, which was a weird fade to black, they were showing like Grande or something, like celebrating. Then all of a sudden, I don't know, it felt weird. Anyway, so we go to Michael Cole, and he's just like, so we want to show you guys a replay. Here's the replay. And the replay was of an announcement of them buying AAA. Couldn't Michael Cole have just said, hey guys, we bought AAA? Did they have to show us a replay of a fucking announcement? That fucking blew my mind. And then Sean got fucking pyro just to announce the fucking attendance? Really? Like, all right, that was just a little shit that bothered me. But coming up next, one of the most, I would say, hotly anticipated matches. Tiffany Stratton taking on Charlotte Flair. And boy, it got a little personal between these two. Fucking the 0-3 and everything. That was a great entrance for Tiffany Stratton. Great entrance. Loved it. Yep. I think whoever approved, I know you feel differently about her, but whoever approved Charlotte's gear for WrestleMania, pay them triple. They deserve a raise. Oh man, because like she came out with just the corset on, and I saw the bottom and the top and everything. I saw the corset, and I was like, okay, cool. All right, well, I was like, this is a hot outfit and everything. I can get down with this and everything. Then she took the corset off, and I almost lost my fucking mind.
To me, Charlotte and Tiffany both have had far too much work done. People go on about how attractive Tiffany is. I don't see it whatsoever.
Well, and Tiffany just had her boobs done, though.
Who, Tiffany?
Yeah, she's had her boobs done.
Yeah, they don't look right to me. Same with Cora Jade. They don't look right. And Charlotte has just had so much work done. I'm like, that's too bad.
I will say, I like first debuting Charlotte and when she was feuding with Sasha.
Kind of like with Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace used to look better when she was kind of chunkier, and now it's like
I agree. Don't get me wrong, she still looks good, and I'm glad
she still looks good, absolutely. But
and I'm glad she's in shape and she's happy and healthy and everything. But like, I'm sorry, thick mama pump is where. Now now going back to the whole Jade Cargill bodysuit thing, I don't think Tiffany was wearing a bodysuit, but I think she was wearing a fake chest plate.
Probably.
I think she was trying to keep the girls in because go back and watch the match. There's a couple times where like Tiffany rolls over to stand up.
To
nothing
adjust, yeah.
nothing moves.
Yep.
You know, so I'm just like, something is odd here. They're using like Hollywood effects for WrestleMania and shit now. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, whether you hate her or not, you have to admit when Charlotte's on, she's fucking on.
Yeah, I will agree with
You know,
that.
nice
I
big boot.
expected her to win too.
You know, I kind of felt it, but I could also see them going with Tiffany. It made sense.
Yeah.
Nice big boot by Flair. Nice power bomb too. And I was like, wow, she kicked out of the top rope natural selection. Because once I saw her hit the top rope natural selection, I was like, well, that's game.
Yep.
And then once she
Me
kicked
too.
out, I was like, oh wow.
Yep.
You know, but overall, it was a good match. There was a couple moments in there where I was like, whatever. So 4 stars.
I give it 3.5. I was very surprised. I was admittedly very surprised that Tiffany won because I thought for sure they were going with Charlotte. So the added surprise of Tiffany winning, I was like, hell yeah, great. 3.5. It would have been more. It's just there were a few sloppy bits to me throughout.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just like, I can't go higher than that. But
Tiffany did lose a couple teeth.
Yep.
I guess that was her payback for fucking
Yep.
0-3. You know.
That was good though. 0-3.
Just like your marriages, 0-3.
And then she dips out of the ring. Like, that was just perfect. I was like, excellent right there. Perfect.
Plus, that was like the one time I felt bad for Charlotte because like Charlotte was like, all right, she tagged me, I'm gonna tag her ass, and then like it didn't hit.
No.
You know, oh yeah, then why is Ludwig always in my fucking?
And Kaiser even got more over on X when he tweeted about it too. Like, he was even more over than what he already was, and it was like, you fucked that up, Charlotte.
I know. I saw people like posting. They're like, Ludwig Kaiser's the first man that's ever been accused of cheating who actually didn't.
Who no one believes actually.
Who no one believes. That's what it was. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it was. Yeah. All right, and up next for night 1 of WrestleMania. The big triple threat main event, CM Punk with Paul Heyman in his corner, Roman Reigns, and Seth, well, according to my notes here, Rollins.
This match was essentially for Paul Heyman. That was the stipulation.
I will say it was a good hype package. If you
Absolutely.
knew nothing about this match, if you knew nothing about this match going and you watched the hype package, you're all fucking set.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was a good hype package. You splurred what? Oh, Seth Rollins' fucking entrance. That was the dumbest fucking entrance.
Yeah, it was stupid.
He sprayed real fire to make digital fire?
All I thought of the flamethrower was, it's like The Rock at WrestleMania 32.
Yeah, but at least The Rock sprayed real fire and made real fire.
Yes, right. Yeah.
Seth Rollins was spraying real fire at a sign and it made digital fire. Oh my God.
I loved the Roman's entrance with the members of the bloodline on the hanging display things like Alpha and Sika, and like going through the lineage of the bloodline, like all the other members. And
yeah.
I loved that.
Plus, Wade was shitting himself over this fucking fire thing, pissing me off. See, here's another one of them notes. It says, "Great shot, cameraman." I have no idea what it's referring to. I gotta start being more fucking. Oh, hey, that's my souvenir chair. Like, I think Punk took like a chair and started chasing one of them with it, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that guy's like, hey, that's my chair. That cost me like $8,000. To sit here.
I have noted, Vernon Reed, what the hell is on your head? Like, referencing Living Color. And then I have right after that, Heyman is definitely turning because of how animated he was with his love for CM Punk on the ramp. I was like, something's definitely happening here.
I didn't know if the turn was coming, but I had a feeling, like, once the match started, I was like, I have a feeling Seth is walking away with this.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how.
Yep.
But great dive from Roman. Nice DDT neckbreaker combo.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta love when fucking Seth does the fucking pedigree out of a spear. You gotta love that. And that whole sequence, you know, that was pretty good.
Oh yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I think Roman's bipolar, as he went from like fucking like looking like, oh man, what do I do next? To like, fuck all of you, real quick. You know, the double table spot I thought was great. And I wrote this down. I'm trying to figure out. I have to go back and watch the match, but I wrote wrestle back to WrestleMania. I don't know why I wrote that down, but
Hmm.
great finish sequence where they all hit their shit. And then I wrote down I had a feeling, which was referring to Seth Rollins.
Yep.
Overall, I thought it was a pretty good main event. You know, I mean, yeah, it wasn't for a title or anything like that, but I loved it. 4.5 stars.
Everything about this I loved. And like I had already said to you before about how I had much disdain for the multi-person matches. Now at this point, I had watched Stand and Deliver, even though I told you I wasn't going to watch it live. I did watch at least the multi-person matches live, and I thought these are all fantastic. Then I saw this, and especially with the sequence at the end, 5 stars for this one.
Wow.
Fantastic. Everything about it was fantastic. And the follow up on Raw, chef's kiss all the way around. Fantastic.
I don't know how I feel about that because now it's like, because you have Paul Heyman out there being like, you know, this is the undisputed, reigning, defending, greatest wrestler in the world, Seth freaking Rollins and Braun Breaker.
My thing with it is Dangerous Alliance. Becky Lynch is going to be involved. And I have a feeling like somebody else will too.
I don't know. Maybe it was just, I don't know, just something for the night, but I just don't like how he's just like the greatest wrestler in the world, Seth Rollins, and Braun Breaker joins him.
Like, I do agree. I can see what you're saying.
Yeah,
but
you know, like,
I am willing to let it play out, but no, with the triple threat and Hammond leading with Seth and everything about that match, 5 stars all the way. Fantastic.
It's like let's live in a world where wrestling's not, you know, not a work right now. You're Braun Breaker. You're about to go out there. You know, Paul Heyman just said, "Hey, you're going to join us tonight. You're going to go out there and spear Roman when we need you and shit." And Braun's like, "Yeah, I'm getting hype and shit." Then you hear on the mic, the greatest wrestler in the world, Seth Rollins. What the fuck is Braun's like? What
yes, no, I see. Yeah, I get you.
You know, so that was like my issue with it. You know,
my thing with that is I think Seth beats Jay for the World Heavyweight Championship before too long. Braun Breaker wins Money in the Bank, and Braun Breaker eventually cashes in Money in the Bank on Seth Rollins when both him and Paul turn on Seth.
That's interesting. That's an interesting way.
That's what I can see happening. I do see Becky being part of this new Dangerous Alliance. I don't know who the other member is, but I do see because of what happened on Raw, I do see Becky as part of it, especially considering too that Heyman was seated next to Seth and Becky at the Hall of Fame.
Okay. All right. So that was night 1 of WrestleMania. Now we're heading on to night 2 of WrestleMania. They're kicking it off big 2. We're going to get a triple threat match for the World Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Io Sky. This is something I've been wanting to bring up. I noticed it throughout the show, but this is when I finally wrote it down. But like, I want to know, like, we all know this year WrestleMania, well, much like the last previous years, has been super, super expensive.
Yep.
Front row seats going anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000.
Anywhere as high as $25,000.
As high as $25,000. Wow. I want to know how much the seats on the stage cost.
From what I've read, anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Because like I saw those seats and I was like, and they had like the one above the stage.
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder how much those fucking things cost, man.
From what
Because in a way that'd be really cool, but like expensive as fuck.
From what I've read, it was $3,000 and $5,000. Now, apparently, a couple days before, like Thursday, Friday, the cheap seats were going for less than $200. But up until that Thursday, Friday, the cheap seats were nothing less than $750.
Damn.
Like, no general fan could really afford to go without doing serious, like,
like little Jimmy cannot just be like, "Oh, Mom, I want to go to WrestleMania. Oh, sure, let's go." You know.
Yeah, we'll pay your life savings to go and not see anything. Like, it's just.
I'm not gonna. See, to me, I always want to go to WrestleMania, but I'm not going to pay $750 to sit like fucking in row Triple Z.
To sit where I might as well be watching on Peacock or Netflix.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I've seen like people like that, especially WrestleMania 40, people at the very top of the stadium that were streaming on Peacock because they couldn't see.
Yeah.
And it's like, why did you pay a couple $100 to be there? if you're just going to stream on Peacock for $6, why wouldn't you just stay home? You could buy a whole case of beer for the same price you're going to pay for one at the stadium. Like, I just don't get it.
Get you a whole pizza for the cost of a slice there.
Exactly, you get a whole pizza and a whole case of beer for the cost of a slice and one can.
Exactly. But yeah. So that's all I'm like. If I ever go to WrestleMania, it's going to be at least somewhat of a decent seat. I don't care if I have to pay for it, but it's going to be a decent seat.
That's all right. Here, yeah.
But all right, that's what okay. And and I missed tight black leather EO. I missed that. Yeah. And the announcer said, "Oh, Io Sky, she's 3-0 at WrestleMania." I'm like, didn't she lose last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of announcing flubs, though.
Yeah.
But and then let's really have a drinking problem. I can see it.
That a little bit, one too many. And then of all the big entrances we saw this weekend, we saw some big entrances. I mean, we're
the same entrance for Bianca again.
No, this one the same. She just had double dutch.
No, but it was basically the fucking same. I was like, you're supposed to not be. I was really annoyed by that because it was basically the same special entrance that she always has. I was like, fuck this shit. Like, what the fuck?
And then I saw the girl dancing in gold. It was kind of like a left shark type of situation. Where she was just like, yeah, whatever. Ooh, and I was just like, wow, she's really happy to be here. Then they said it was her stepdaughter. So
Montez Ford's daughter, yeah.
Yeah, okay, it kind of makes sense. So she's not really in the business. She don't really know. Right. So I was like, all right, I'll let that one slide. But at first I was like, wow, this bitch is happy to be here.
Obviously she wasn't, though.
I know, probably. And then they show the people next to the stage. They're like, this is the Minute Maid juice box people. I'm like, did they have to fucking leave right after this shot too? Like the Slim Jim people?
Well, and the Dude Wipes representative was just walking awkwardly throughout the arena in that stupid suit, trying to hand out Dude Wipes to people.
Hey, take what you can get.
Yeah, if I can get free Dude Wipes rather than paying fucking $5.99 for a travel pack, I'll take it. But holy fuck.
And Rhea Ripley, again, I've always said before, NXT UK Rhea Ripley, that's the kind of Rhea Ripley I like looking at. And she's fine now, but I will say the red lipstick or the burgundy lipstick or whatever, it wasn't doing it for me here.
No, that red lipstick and the eyeliner was too reminiscent of early days Marilyn Manson in the mid 90s, Beautiful People, Marilyn Manson. I'm like, no thanks. Yeah. I don't care how much ass you show, no thanks.
Io did what the announcers called a double blockbuster, but it didn't look like that to me.
It didn't look like it. I thought it was nice. I love Io.
It was nice, whatever it was, but it wasn't a blockbuster. Yeah. And then that's when I wrote down, I am so dumb with Tower of Doom spots.
Yep.
Just because it's a multi-person match doesn't mean we all have to be in the corner to do a spot.
One thing I really hated about this too was how much Bianca went to the kiss my ass stuff. Sticking out her tongue and being like, oh, I kiss my ass. Is okay, but you're clearly still a face. So quit doing this shit because you haven't officially turned yet. And you just had kids in your entrance. So what the fuck are you doing? It made it look stupid and comedic shit that didn't need to be there.
Where was I at? Oh, hell of a pounce though by Belair. Belair did a pounce, and I was like, God damn. And then
when Rhea hit the razor's edge to Io into Bianca, I really liked.
Yeah, and that boot off the moonsault was fucking incredible. And then the post shot. What is it with Rhea Ripley doing post shots at WrestleMania? I don't understand. She hit fucking Charlotte 2 years ago with one that was insane, and then this one to Io, and then the fucking finish was outstanding. I thought. The beginning of it seemed a little but it kind of spiced up there a little bit. I gave it 4 stars.
This one, again, I panned the idea of multi-person matches. This match I was really invested in once it got started. The build-up, I will admit, I didn't like. I didn't like how they always slighted Io, especially because I was not convinced that Io was going to win this. I was convinced she was just a transitional champ so that Bianca didn't have to pin Rhea or vice versa.
Mhm.
So I was very pleasantly surprised when EO won. But on top of that, everything about this, I really enjoyed. 5 stars for this one as well. I
Wow, really
fucking loved this.
interesting. All right.
Yeah. And
Um,
then immediately after, when they did the celebrity entrance, I have an all caps plus an exclamation point. Flavor Flav.
I know I was yelling that because I watched it live and I was just screaming that. I
Yeah.
was like, "It's your boy, Flavor Flav!
Yeah, yo,
Yeah, boy!"
boy.
Although I find it weird because what's her name? Danielle Fishel, Will Friedle, and Ryder
Yep.
Strong were all there, but they didn't show them. You know? But they
Yeah.
showed Flavor Flav, which don't get me wrong, I like Flavor Flav, but
Yeah.
like I find it weird that they showed him, but not them. I don't know, whatever.
Flavor Flav not too long ago was unmasked on The Masked Singer this season.
Oh yeah, man, I gave up on that fucking show.
It's kind of shit. Matthew Lawrence was most recently
Yeah,
unmasked.
I read it, but like now, because like after season like 5, they're just like, next season we're gonna have bigger stars, and I'm like, all right, and it's like, take off the mask, and it's like, real desperate housewives. I'm like, what? The fuck?
So 4 of the current final 6 right now are apparently Gretchen Wilson, Andy Grammer, Edwin McCain, and Brian Kelly from Florida Georgia Line. With The Masked Singer, what I really hate
But Brian
is when
Kelly's
singers
the big
get unmasked. So a legitimate singer gets unmasked and doesn't win. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Why is this a singing competition if a legitimate singer can't fucking win? But
yeah.
you know, what?
That's my thing. Every season we're gonna have bigger stars, and it's like more people that I've never heard of. That's my issue with the show.
Yeah.
Anyway, but next up, Damian Priest taking on Drew McIntyre, and apparently Damian Priest got Slayer.
That entrance,
the
there was way too much distortion for Kerry King. Way too much. It sounded like shit. It was cool to see, but it sounded like shit.
Although it was still a cool entrance minus the music.
It was,
the fucking bat wings and the fucking pyro and shit. I thought that was
that
neat.
guitar sounded awful though.
And before I saw the fucking end of the match where they fucking pimp out the fucking video game, I was like, what the fuck is this Transformers Halo Power Ranger mashup bullshit that Drew McIntyre is coming out with? But then they told us that it was Doom. Great entrance from DP. Oh yeah, weird elbow from Damian Priest. Oh, this is weird.
I love the Drew selfie.
The Drew selfie, yeah. There was a spot on the outside. I think Priest hit him with stairs, and like you don't see, all you see is Drew fall down. Then the camera comes around, and you see Priest like laying, or not Priest. I'm sorry, McIntyre laying down with his arms stretched out. And it was just the funniest fucking sell to me. I laughed my fucking ass off, maybe because I'm high. I don't know, or was high, I should say. These two could. Oh, okay. Remember TLC? I forgot what year it was, but remember that year there were like tables, ladders, chairs, and stairs. Remember that year? These two could probably get the stairs match over.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, because it wasn't fucking Rowan and Big Show.
No.
But like, yeah, these two fucking know how to use some fucking stairs and shit. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
And I wrote stack the tables, you pussy. Because he just spread them out. And then he hits a devastating Claymore to the elbow. And then that razor's edge into the table is pretty cool. Oh man, there's a reason why I wrote this. That's on Damian Priest. Why did I write that? Oh, the tables. That's right. He went for the old school and he got pushed into the tables. I'm like, that's on you.
Absolutely.
You can't blame that on Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Great finish. I really wish he would use the Future Shock more. I get that the Claymore is over and everything, but I really like the Future Shock a lot. But pretty fun street fight. Didn't go too crazy or anything like that. 4 stars.
Yeah, 4 stars for me too, for the exact same reasons. I love that Drew went over. I wish that Drew would have been in a more prominent match, but it is what it is. They did do the best they could to build that up, and that was one of the better built WrestleMania matches across both nights. I will say that. I think very few would disagree with me at this point. So yeah, 4 stars for that one. It was very solid, which I was surprised by, but in a pleasant way.
And next up is the Fatal 4-Way match for the Intercontinental Championship. Penta versus Dirty Dom versus Finn Balor versus Braun Breaker. Oh man, I was really hoping Penta would just strut all the way to the fucking ring.
Yeah. No need to ask. He's a smooth operator. I was expecting that to be the reference for the intro.
Oh, that'd been good.
As soon as you sent me that video, I was like, there goes the reference.
I forgot all about it until I was doing the intro. I was like, oh fuck, I didn't do an 80s reference. Fuck, you know. Wade covering up for Dom's botch, I thought was pretty funny.
Yep.
That was pretty good. Braun is racist. He went right for Dom.
I don't like how they didn't acknowledge that was a Rey Mysterio senior mask, not a Rey Mysterio junior mask that Dom had on that he couldn't get off. I didn't like that.
Oh yeah.
And Finn Balor's stupid fucking bag over his head.
Yeah, like, what the hell?
Understand what the fuck that was.
Nobody knew because they even set it up on commentary. Yeah. Like, okay, Lucha Libre expert, what's that mask? Oh.
It looked like a fucking reusable grocery bag that he just threw over his head.
But yeah, the bell rang and all four of them were standing there, and then like fucking Braun just runs for Dom, and I was like, that was racist. You know, I'm fairly certain. I mean, yeah,
Penta's, he had went right for Penta, but
Penta's Mexican too, but like he went right for Dom and nobody else.
Yeah,
you know, Dom getting babyface reactions after like fucking 4 years of just the loudest boos I've ever heard is just jarring.
Dirty Dom.
Yeah, and the rest in peace, Carlito.
Yep. More Steiner math.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, and I just wrote down just wow. I'm actually surprised they went with Dom.
I'm not.
Judging from Raw, I thought they were gonna pull another women's tag team title. I was like, oh, they're gonna.
I thought that too, especially when Finn was staring at the belt. I was like, Finn's costing him that belt.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, it's only gonna be a one-night reign. But overall, it was a fun fatal four-way. 4.25.
I give it 3.5. It was fun. I was hoping Dom would win. I loved the way they did the ending. But yeah, 3.5. There were a few sloppy bits. I hope they get Penta with Phoenix sooner rather than later so that they don't further diminish them. But
no, I think they need to be. I think they need to be separate. I think because like once they become a tag team, they're pigeonholed.
That's true.
Tag team.
That is true. Know? I do.
And then like once one of them gets injured, you know what happens. The other one disappears.
You're right. Yeah.
You know, so keep them separate. Then we get them.
I can't deny that. You're right.
I know. Next up is Randy Orton's Open Challenge.
Oh boy.
And I love the fucking like original, like he designed his gear.
Yes.
Like original tights. That was so good.
That video package was fantastic too.
And plus like, going into it, I was like this. I know he probably can't take the loss, but I was like, the only logical sense that it makes for me here is Rusev. That's the only logical
I was expecting Rusev, but like I had said in the group chat, I would rather it be somebody like who it was because they can take the loss and it not matter.
But I didn't see it coming. Then I saw like the guy standing there. I was like, it is Nick Aldis.
I thought it was Lana.
And then say his name and he appeared. Fucking Joe Henry. Now,
my brother laughed at me. I shit my pants. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Like,
no, let me tell you this story. So I'm watching it live on YouTube with people and everything, and they're just like, well, wow, this is lame. This is a dud. And I'm like, are we watching the same show? Because the whole crowd was singing his fucking song and going nuts. And I'm like,
and waving the hands from side to side. Like,
yeah. I'm like, are we not watching the same fucking show? Like, because they're fucking eating this up.
Yeah.
I was okay with it.
I loved it.
I mean, this was one of those things that it was essentially a segment designed as a match.
Yep.
It's essentially what it was. Henry got some stuff in. We got to see all the fucking Ortonisms, I guess. And then the fucking smile and the fucking RKO out of nowhere.
That was brilliant, too. And that meme I sent you, the we'll be right back. Like, I fucking still am laughing at that. That was so fucking funny.
And Randy Orton doing the fucking Henry pose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That fucking got me, too. I was just like, okay, that's good.
This segment I gave 5 stars.
I gave it 4.
All of it I thought was fucking perfect. Right from, like, even when they started opening the entranceway and he was like, his back was facing the crowd, I was like, here's Lana. And it was, say his name, man. He appears. And I was like, oh shit. And my brother
Yeah.
my brother starts laughing at me. It's like, ah.
I had no fucking idea. I
No.
was just like, oh man.
You know,
Um,
although I will say Jeff Hardy was apparently considered to be the opponent, I wouldn't have hated that either.
yeah. But like, apparently, like Orton wasn't really on board with Joe Henry until he heard the crowd reaction.
Well, and he
They
did
told,
look like, when you looked at his face, it was like,
yeah.
okay, all right.
Apparently, they told him like Joe Henry, and he went with it. But he, like deep down, he was like, I don't think this is gonna work.
Yeah.
You know. And then he heard the crowd reaction. He was like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Next up is a match that I always look forward to. I always, we had a hotly fucking discussion about that. I'm gonna have the same discussion with you because I want to see what you think. But AJ Styles taking on Logan Paul, and I have said numerous times in the past. Before we even talk about the match, I want to get this topic out of the way first.
Yeah.
Before we even talk about the match, I have said before, Logan Paul, the YouTube star, the fucking, whatever he fucking does, whatever he does, that's on him. Whatever.
Right.
I don't really care. Logan Paul, the WWE superstar, I think is phenomenal. He does a great job. He is taken to this business like a fish takes the fucking water. I think he's great. Now, the problem, the issue that I want to bring up here is that when I brought that up on the YouTube, a lot of people are like, no, fuck him. Fuck him. I don't give a shit. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him. I don't care how good he is. Fuck him. So it was an issue of not being able to separate the art from the artist. So that's my question to you. Are you able to separate the art from the artist from Logan Paul, or are you like, I don't give a fuck what I don't care how good he is. Fuck him.
Here's my thing with Logan Paul. And an overall thing with the alleged YouTube influencer community in general. And what I mean by that is Logan Paul, KSI, Mr. Beast, iShowSpeed, all these alleged celebrities. What are they famous for, really? They are all annoying to me. Logan Paul, at least, is athletic enough that I can see him fitting into the landscape of professional wrestling, and obviously has put in the work to make it look good. Do I agree with him beating AJ Styles? Yes, if only for the fact that Logan Paul is going to sell tickets and is going to sell Prime on behalf of WWE. I loved seeing the Prime Makes Me Gag fucking sign. I thought that was fantastic. Logan Paul did put on a good show in this match. He did hang with AJ Styles. I just think AJ Styles deserved better, especially if this is one of his last WrestleManias. I rated this 3 stars at best. I mean, could it have been better? Sure. I expected them both to be in the Intercontinental title match. I expected the Intercontinental title match to include the 4 it did, these two, plus Ludwig and Sheamus in a ladder match, an 8-man ladder match. What we got instead was okay, but yeah, 3 stars for this. I didn't hate it. I didn't love that Logan won, but I get why they did it. That's where I'm at.
So you're able to separate the art from the artist then?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because that was a huge topic of discussion during this match.
Logan Paul is definitely very, very talented when it comes to sports entertainment, professional wrestling, like whatever the athletic nature is. Clearly, he is very talented.
Yeah, because I think one of them was he had that issue where he went to the Japanese forest and filmed that dead body. And I'm just like, fucking people do stupid shit.
Yes.
But like you can't. And like my thing was like, it was like being a plumber. You can be a plumber. You can be the best goddamn plumber in the world. And whenever you need a plumber, they call you and shit like that. Then you go out and murder somebody. You go out and murder somebody. That makes you a bad person, but it doesn't take away from your plumbing ability.
It does. Exactly. It's like with Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
He may have murdered his wife and his son, but as a wrestling persona,
he's fantastic.
He was fantastic.
Yeah. There we go. All right.
O.J. Simpson. He was a great football player. He was a great comedic actor, but as a person, he was a piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. My thoughts on the match here. I said, okay, by the way, there's a camera there, AJ. Oh, because you almost kicked the camera. Okay. The nice sliding knee was good. Nice throw into the post. Oh yeah, I like the drone shot that he did with the frog splash.
The entrance for Logan Paul and the drone stuff was great. I loved all that.
I thought his entrance was kind of lackluster this year compared to other ones he's had.
Well, yeah.
I did like the drone in the match where he used it to do the frog splash. That was cool.
Yep.
But other than that, I thought the entrance was eh. Oh yeah, and when Naomi does it, that's one thing. When Mickie James pulls one out every now and then, that's one thing. When Melina does it, it's one thing. I don't think somebody like Logan Paul should be doing the split leg drop.
No.
It's I mean, don't get me wrong. If he's that athletic to do it, that's impressive. Don't get me wrong. But like
as a Hogan troll, I get it, but no.
Yeah. I just don't think it really fits with him. Good to see a good old brain buster, Great moonsault from Logan Paul. I like the Styles Class exchange. I like that. I guess this was just a way to get Karrion Kross a payday. I like the finish a lot. I really I enjoy AJ Styles. I enjoy Logan Paul as a wrestler. 4.5 stars. I really like this.
No, for me it was only a 3 stars, only because like I expected more from it. I liked what they did with Karrion Kross, but
the only thing that like I could really take away a point from, I'm getting tired of like they need some kind of like kill off or payoff for the fucking dude who keeps bringing Nux to fucking Logan.
Yes. Yep.
Like, like fucking it's him again. I mean, yeah, they kind of had it with Karrion Kross coming out there saying, "Give me this," Yep. But like fucking every match, this dude's got to show up.
Yep.
Other than that, all right, next up here, we have Raquel Gonzalez and Liv Morgan defending the tag team title, that is, against Lyra Valkyria and what was supposed to be Bayley, but now we're going to have a mystery partner. Gee, I wonder who it's going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Lyra Valkyria, let me just say,
not at all for me. She has no hips.
It's working for me. I don't know what it is.
It's not for me, man.
It works for me. And all this says is Lyra Boing, and it says hug with feathers.
I don't know.
How did I write? Me neither. Becky botched something. And they mentioned Aaliyah on commentary. So I was like, wow, is WWE trying to keep canon now?
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked by that. There's so many feathers. Good hot tag. Great save from Lyra. All right finish.
I like Liv hitting the Three Amigos.
Lyra figuring out that she's a double champion. I don't know if you saw that, but that was the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen.
I give this
she gets handed the Intercontinental title and she looks at it. She's, oh my God, I'm a double champion. Like, you can tell that just realized on her face, and it was the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Okay, sure. I gave this 2.5 stars. I didn't really enjoy this, and their match on Raw was better.
It was okay. Yeah, I think like some of the tag team matches they've been doing on Raw have been a lot better. This was okay, 3.5 for me. Just because I like Lyra and Raquel. Like I've said before, I think Raquel should be on the level of Becky and Charlotte and Tiff and everything like that. And for some reason,
but she's teaming with Liv.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a mediocre match, to say the least. Next up, oh my God, can we?
Fuck.
Okay. Steve Austin, cameo here.
Drunk as fuck,
but like in a way, I don't know if you did, but I felt bad for him. And
have you seen the video when he missed the ramp going in and he slammed into the lower area of the stage and couldn't even reverse it to get it straight, to the point where security had to straighten it out and help him so they could back it up to get on the stage?
No, I'm talking about how I feel bad for him. Fuck his drinking. If he wants to drink, he's Steve Austin. Let him drink. They reduced Stone Cold Steve Austin. Go to WrestleMania 14, one of the most monumental WrestleManias of all fucking time.
Yep.
Steve Austin up there on the Mount Rushmore, whether you like him or not. Hogan, Austin, maybe Rock, some other people. They have Steve Austin coming out to do the fucking attendance announcement.
Yeah.
It's one thing when you have, like, back at WrestleMania 24 4, I think, when you have fucking Kim Kardashian doing that.
Yep.
That's one thing. Now you have Steve Austin fucking doing it.
Well, and Shawn Michaels on night 1.
Yeah, exactly. You're like,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's a way to see the fucking old school guys, but like, really, this is what you reduced them to?
Yep.
You know, that bothered me. Anyway,
Absolutely.
The main event, and then he runs over a fan.
Well, he bumped the barricade.
Yeah,
She fell into the chair, but they're very worried about the lawsuit, which is understandable. You have somebody visibly drunk who's already crashed the fucking thing once, crashes it again, and then drinks more beer. Like, I don't know. She's gonna get a hefty sum.
Yeah, or a nice little fucking merchandise fucking bundle.
Or a bunch of fucking ringside seats for a year or something.
Here's your fucking free Apollo Crews shirt.
Free meet and greet with Omos.
Where is the main event? Cody Rhodes defending the title against John Cena.
Where are the dirt bikes?
My question was, where's the fucking Cody Vader?
That too.
Like,
I want John Cena's entrance. That was fucking glorious.
I think the Cody Vader showed up for like 3 fucking matches, and then that was it. You know, the Cena powdering was kind of weird. Him like exiting the ring to take a second after getting his ass handed to him was kind of.
It was weird, but I also kind of felt it brilliant because it was what we didn't want versus what we wanted. Like, what do we get? What do we get? What do we get? You get nothing. Like, that's what it felt like to me.
Mm-hmm.
But it also fell short.
And stop mentioning that fucking Crown Jewel title unless we're gonna bring back the Royal Rumble title.
Well, the Crown Jewel title doesn't even mean anything this year because they're not doing Crown Jewel this year.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, stop mentioning that shit. They bring it up for Liv Morgan. They bring it up for him. Unless we're gonna bring back the Royal Rumble title and Braun Strowman's gonna
the greatest Royal Rumble, yeah.
Yeah, unless we're gonna defend that, shut the fuck up. You know? Nice Cody not throwing a punch. Why did I write that?
You were high.
I know, exactly. Nice powerbomb reversal from Cody. Scott Soldwell. Who the fuck is Scott?
Travis
Scott, thank you. Yeah. Oh yeah, because he took a bump, and I was just like, oh okay, he actually sold that well. All right.
Yeah. He did so well. Again, why in the fuck is Travis Scott involved in any of this? Dating back to Elimination Chamber, why was he here except for his stupid song that is unfortunately really, really catchy and I still have stuck in my head?
And my only other note was like, wow, they did it, eh? You know, and I was like, it was a fine match. Wrong result. 2.5.
I gave this 2.5.
Yeah. That was the only one we've agreed on.
I was pissed there was nothing with The Rock. I was pissed that Cena won with a belt shot and a kick to the balls. I was pissed that Travis Scott was involved with no explanation as to why he was there in the first place.
Well, I wouldn't say there was no explanation. Elimination Chamber kind of fucking...
Okay, but even still, because the first time we saw Travis Scott on WWE TV, he was yeeting while smoking a blunt with Jey Uso. And then all of a sudden he was with The Rock, with John Cena turning on Cody Rhodes. The Rock doesn't appear again, and Travis Scott all of a sudden appears, and John Cena is all happy. Okay, regardless of the entertainment connection, why is Travis Scott here? Why isn't The Rock here? And I don't care what The Rock said on the Pat McAfee show that he didn't want to take away the spotlight from anybody. If you didn't want to take away the spotlight from anybody, why didn't you say to Ari Emanuel when he said, we need to move tickets, we need you at Elimination Chamber, why didn't you say, no, you can move tickets with who you already have?
Tell us how you really feel, Nick.
That's not even what's up my ass.
I was going to say, well, there goes my whole theory about WWE being canon. With Travis Scott walking out with Jey Uso, then like, hey, I'm with The Rock.
Yeah. And if you and the preview for WWE Unknown that's coming on Netflix, the behind the scenes or Unreal,
that looks
they unveil the whiteboard for the WrestleMania 41 plans, which showed Rey Mysterio with Travis Scott versus Chad Gable.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe they just wrote Chad Gable, but not El Grande.
Well, okay, but still.
But still, with Travis Scott, that's something.
John Cena's heel turn did not have to involve The Rock or Travis Scott. John Cena could have won that Elimination Chamber. Cody Rhodes come out, shake his hand. Cena kicks him in the balls and beats the hell out of him. Done.
I don't think he needed the title.
That too.
I think he should have just rode into the sunset this year. I would have threw him an Intercontinental title.
I'd love that, but here's where we are. And I would love to think that Randy Orton is going to beat him in St. Louis, but he's not. Cena's going to hold it until December, and then Cody's going to take it back to retire him.
Somebody was just like, I don't understand why they're doing Randy Orton and John Cena again. I was like, well, Backlash is in St. Louis, so it makes all the sense in the world.
And this is the first time that Randy Orton has been a face versus John Cena as a heel.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, too.
That is why they're doing it.
That'd be kind of interesting to see.
Yep.
But so overall, what do we give WrestleMania 41 this year on a scale of 1 to 10 or grade? I don't care.
6 out of 10 at best.
6 out of 10. I'll go one higher. I'll go 7.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I said,
there were some great matches.
Yeah, there was a lot of good in there. A lot of questioning decisions. I understand it's supposed to be a spectacle now and everything, but you don't need to show me Jelly Roll was there after he performed.
No. Or even Ava Max. I don't need to know that Ava Max is here to perform America the Beautiful.
I was excited when I saw Ava Max. That's weird. They were like, "You here to perform America the Beautiful?" Ava Max. I was like, "Really, Ava Max?"
Psycho.
I was more excited for that than I was Jelly Roll. I was like, "Fucking Ava Max."
Sweet but a psycho. That's what I have stuck in my head now. I love that song.
But like replaying announcements, I'm like, fucking told us, fuck her lazy ass bitch. Yeah, Alki, but yeah, I thought it was a pretty good WrestleMania this year. I mean, were there better ones? Probably.
Yes.
Are there worse ones? Yeah.
Yes.
But this was solid.
Right.
Questionable decisions, of course. Like every year, I think every WrestleMania.
Oh, for sure.
Decisions, but I enjoyed the WrestleMania. I don't think there was really anything wrong. Just like, God damn it, I don't think there was really anything where I really wanted to flip a table.
Right.
Maybe some questionable decisions. Like I probably wouldn't have went with New Day. I would have rode with the War Raiders.
Right.
Still,
I wouldn't have had them on there, period. But that's also what's up my ass.
Yeah, that's true too. All right, so that was our review of WrestleMania on our first episode back of Three-Way Dance Wrestling Podcast here. And speaking of what's up Nick's ass, we saved that for after our segment now, because we're like way over on our time. We knew it was going to be a long one though.
Yes.
But so Nick, what's up your ass?
So when we look at what we got with WrestleMania 41 overnights 1 and 2, and what we didn't get, Chelsea Green wasn't a part of the WrestleMania card. Nia Jax, which I have notoriously been against Nia Jax, but I will say her run within the past 12 months has been fantastic, and she deserved a spot on the WrestleMania card. I would have loved to have seen Nia Jax in some capacity, even putting the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on night 1 and Nia Jax winning it, because I feel like she deserved it, because she made the SmackDown Women's Division actually mean something. She is the one that made Tiffany Stratton mean something as a babyface, as far as I'm concerned. Chelsea Green speaks for herself. That whole angle as Women's U.S. Champion, absolutely fantastic. But not only those two. You put New Day and War Raiders on WrestleMania so that you could put Clash of Clans shitty-looking, animated, bullshit-looking gear on the War Raiders when you didn't want them to be the Viking Raiders anymore. You may as well have kept them as the Viking Raiders with that gear, when you could have put the TLC match schedule for SmackDown with Street Profits, DIY, and Motor City Machine Guns, which you can guarantee is going to be, if not a 5-star, a 4.5-star match. You could have put that on the card when you've been focusing on the SmackDown Tag Division for months.
Yep.
and you don't feature any of them, even without Pretty Deadly and Los Garza, which you could put all 5 of them in that ladder match and it would have been fantastic.
Not to mention over 2 nights, mind you, 2 nights of WrestleMania,
Yes.
they've had 6 hours of pre-show.
Exactly. And that is the best overall with the roster of people that you have. And that was the best cards you come up with for 2 nights of WrestleMania. Come on.
You could have threw Viking, I keep calling them Viking, War Raiders and New Day on the pre-show. You could have probably.
I would have loved to see Tama Tonga and Tongaloa versus the Usos.
Yeah. In fact, in a way, you probably could have threw Rey Fenix and El Grande on a fucking pre-show.
Absolutely, you could have.
You could even
you could have done Penta and Phoenix versus the Creed brothers.
I don't know about that one.
With Chad Gable as the referee. He gets taken out. Here comes El Grande Americano. Like, there was so much stuff.
As much as I know you didn't like it, but as much as I liked it, I mean, you could even make an argument that if they did pre-show matches still, you could even throw Jade Cargill and Naomi on there. There was room.
Absolutely.
I know they're trying to, like, not make WrestleMania, like, fucking 9 hours long anymore. But like, still, I just...
Don't give us garbage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, you know, I know this is not like WrestleMania 7 anymore where they give us, like, a bunch of filler matches, but, like, yeah, I agree. I think the TLC match should have been on here. I think, somebody like Chelsea Green and or Nia Jax should have been on. Like, when
overall,
they announced that,
the roster that they have, and that's what we got.
When they announced that tag team gauntlet match, I was looking at all the teams in it. I was just like, okay, it has to be Secret Service. That's the only one that makes any goddamn sense.
When I looked at it, it was like, so it's Bayley and Lyra because they're the 2 most over faces of this group.
Because I was like, Lyra's the Intercontinental Champion. You definitely don't want to fucking, you know, and then they fucking did it. And I was like, okay, I'm confused. I was really confused by the booking of that match.
Yep.
You know? But now they're going to give the Intercontinental title to Becky, it looks like, which I'm just like, oh, God.
Yeah, I'd rather they give it to Bayley, but they're going to give it to Becky.
I'd rather
because Becky is going to be with Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. I'm telling you that right now. This is a new dangerous alliance of Paul Heyman leading Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Becky Lynch, and maybe somebody like an Austin Theory or a Carmelo Hayes or a Trick Williams or somebody like that.
I could see a Carmelo Hayes. He did win the Andre. He doesn't fit anymore, but, you know. Paul Heyman has been known to recruit guys who won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Yep. Cesaro.
Yep.
Jey Uso.
Well, he was already recruited.
Okay, yeah, you're right, sir.
He was already a right-hand man when that happened.
Either way.
But, all right, so that was up your ass. So normally we have like a little after segment, little game or something, but we were gone really over tonight. So now we're going to do something that we always like to do at the end of our show here, and that is the vintage pick of the week, or pick of the week, not even vintage, just pick of the week. Just something wrestling related we think you should go out and seek and watch or something like that. So, Nick, you have a pick of the week?
The late, great Terry Funk back in the day had numerous issues with the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. The late, great Dusty Rhodes, including where he had a wooden cutout of Dusty Rhodes that he then attacked with a chainsaw, similar, like that promo I sent to you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that promo where he attacks Dusty with a chainsaw, wooden Dusty, and it gets the chainsaw stuck.
Yeah. Mine is something a little. It was actually the same fucking pick of the week on the very last episode of Three-Way Dance Wrestling Podcast, and that is the previous episodes of Three-Way Dance Wrestling Podcast. If you don't know what obviously you listen to this episode, but if you're like, hey, what else have they done? We've done multiple episodes in the past. We've done 120 episodes, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So there's a playlist of them on the YouTube channel. So go back and check those out. If you just want to, some really, I found myself listening to some and laughing my ass off. Like,
me too.
Like I'm not part of the show, you know? So yeah, if you guys like wrestling or like a few movies, hey, there's a couple movie reviews in there too. Maybe we'll bring those back too eventually. Depends on how you guys react to this.
Yes.
You guys sucked, and maybe this is our last episode.
Which I expect to be well, but you never know.
you never know, But there's the bell, so we know what that means. That means it's the end of the Three-Way Dance Wrestling Podcast this week. So maybe next week we'll be back with something. Don't know yet, because we do have to figure out some new recording terms.
Yes.
This is our last episode recording on Skype before it shuts down, before we move to Microsoft Teams. So yeah, that is it, everybody. Thank you guys for listening, and hopefully we're here next week with another one. Until next time,
Yes.
I am the artist. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I just heard it in the background. Just yes. It fucked me up. All right. Till next time, guys. I am the artist, and for Nick, be breezy, everybody.